truth is rejected because it requires change. Now, I talked to you before about this electrical situation, and Duke Energy is increasing rates. In North Carolina, they got an 18% increase coming in January. In Ohio, they got a $17 per month increase coming in January. And, South Carolina already had an increase this past January of 3.2% to pay for the Hurricane Helene recovery, that the government already paid them for. But, we getting another increase in this coming January, about $10 a month. So, that's all these increases, are to pay for these data centers, because they need more power. And we're paying for the upgrade of the grid in order to build these data centers. And then we're going to pay the higher rate for the increase in infrastructure that we already paid for. How about that? Now, Duke Energy is a for-profit company. You can't be mad at them. They're trying to make money for their investors. And, you can talk about your public commissions or regulators, but, they already approved this stuff. Thousands of people protested and went to the governors and talked to the legislatures, but it didn't really matter because, they're pretty much owned by these big corporations. Now, if you think I'm kidding, I put links in in the description. I got links in the description to these, articles or videos from the news people showing that people were at these hearings. It doesn't matter because the corporation owns these people, and you can say what you want. It doesn't matter whether they Republican or Democrat, whether it's red or blue. You see what I'm saying? Duke Energy care about green. And, I'm talking about South Carolina and North Carolina and Ohio, but hey, Indiana, you in the mix too. Duke Energy is in Indiana, North Carolina, Ohio, South Carolina, Florida, and you can say, oh, it don't say Duke Energy, it say Progressive. It's the same company. Duke Energy own it all. Okay, so don't fool yourself. You're being fooled. And the question is we gonna come together and take our energy back, our electricity back? Because we got to have electricity to live. And if the rates keep going up, and our earning potential keep going down, then we're gonna have a problem. Because a lot of people be living in the dark because they can't afford electricity. So I suggest we do it kind of like we do the water in South Carolina. But, and if you watch my other video about the water, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. But it's a municipal thing. Each county controls the water, whereas in other states, they got a company just like Duke Energy that controls the water. So they raise their rate whenever they get ready, because they're a for-profit company. And I hope people can really come to see that. I know you've been conditioned, and I know the Republican guy gonna come out and say A, B, and C, and the Democrat guy gonna come out and say C, D, and E, but they don't care about your power bill, dude or lady. I mean, come on, get it in your head. They don't care about that. Their job is to get votes so they can get their electricity for free. And you say, oh, they pay the bill. Yeah, but you paying their salary. So they getting it for free. And plus the power company already paying them in their back pocket. You just don't want to see it for some reason. But, in my earlier video, I did say that 54% of all Americans read below a 6th grade level, which means you're easily manipulated, really. I mean, damn. it's a shame, really. But I can't do anything about that. I'm just trying to reach the people who have some consciousness left. And if you do, I ain't picking on it, but if you do, then please do your best to stand up against what's going on. You know, I'm talking about economic reparations, but truth is rejected because it requires change.